everybody. Welcome to Strumming with Christopher. I'm Christopher Gallegos with Monterey County Free Library's Gonzales branch. So we've been talking about melodies, scales. We've been moving a little bit beyond chords and strumming into the realm of melody, seeing the guitar as a melodic instrument where instead of playing multiple notes at once like a chord, you're playing single notes. Right? And they're both important. This is leading into what you know as guitar solos, right? Or leads or riffs, melodies. And yeah, it's good to know both types of playing. Some people naturally only want to play rhythm, some only want to play leads, but it's good to know both. So we're starting out slow. But last time when I was showing you the minor pentatonic scale, which I spent 2 videos breaking down, and then I got into a left-hand technique called hammer-ons and pull-offs. I want to teach you some right-hand technique today. So when I was first showing you the minor pentatonic scale, I was having you just pick with down strokes. I was having you just go down with a pick when you were going from the low E down to the high E, and then back up. I was having you pick in an upwards motion, up, up, up. And that's not a long-term picking strategy. So I want to show you something that will help you in a lot of situations as we're learning scales and melodies. And that's called alternate picking. So let's get our pick now. You don't have a pick, you can always buy one. You can make one by cutting up a card into a teardrop, cartoon alien head shape. Don't cut your library card. Very easy to order online, buy in a guitar store. Don't overthink it. Sometimes you'll see picks that will have numbers next to them or stamped on them, and that's just the thickness in millimeters. Try to get something in between 0 and 1, maybe like a 0.42, 0.56, 0.63. A medium weight pick. Okay, so let your wrist hang loosely. Put the pick in between your thumb and your index finger firmly, but not too firm. You want this to be able to move. This tip is what's hitting your strings. And then you kind of approach it straight on if you can. A little hard to show you this. Straight on if you can. Sometimes you'll naturally angle up or down. Find what's comfortable for you, okay? And so I'm going to show you quickly, before I go into the exercise I want to give you, the minor pentatonic scale that I initially showed you with the up and down picking is very inefficient. It's just a learning device for your left hand, basically. So I was going down, 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 down. And then when I was coming up, I was going up, 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 up. So what I want to have you do, you can do that with a pentatonic scale, but I want to show you something that is not meant to sound pretty. It's not used really melodically as much, but it's called the chromatic scale. And really all that means is, instead of having jumps of a fret or more in between fingers, you're going to just play the frets basically in sequence right next to each other. So if you're comfortable starting on fret 5 in the middle of the neck, kind of like that A shape that we do a lot, go ahead and put your first finger on 5th fret low E string, and I want you to play fret 5, index finger, middle finger fret 6, ring finger fret 7, pinky fret 8, and you could actually do that all the way down. But what we're going to do is we can start with a downstroke. So then our first note, I'll show you on this low E, first note's going to be an A, right? We'll do a downstroke, down, down, and then an upstroke, then a downstroke, then an upstroke. So you're playing 4 notes, down, up in this case. So let's see if we can kind of give you a bird's eye view here. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So you can get your speed really quick, but if you're just going down, it gets tedious. It's a lot of wasted effort to just go down or up. So really, if you do that anywhere on the neck, just pick any 4 frets and just play them. You can do it on one string to get the feel of what each string thickness feels like. Very good kinesthetic exercise. Get your hands on there. You can do it from the pinky side back, forward. Just remember, just play the frets kind of in order next to each other. And what you'll get is you'll start getting this exercise. It feels a little bit more natural to start with a downstroke if you're starting up here. But do whatever you want. Just remember to alternate between down, up for each note. That's why I'm having you do 4 notes. See, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm trying to exaggerate it. Down, up, 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 down, up. And then sometimes if you end on an upstroke, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Just remember to always kind of have that little pattern going down, up, as your fingers are playing notes, instead of just thinking down, 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 or up, up, up. And what that does is that gives you a very smooth thing going on with your right hand, where you're not having to overthink it. You just know your hand is kind of keeping time, down, up, down, up. In the old days, you used to practice with something called a metronome, which clicked off beats. There's apps now. There's one called Pro Metronome, and it's not bad. It's free, Apple App Store, and you can start practicing with something like that, where it would count out beats per minute. For example, 1 beat per second would be 60 beats, 60 BPM. And if you're trying to get that dexterity, you can practice down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then you can speed it up as you're getting better. You don't have to do this again, but sometimes it helps certain people to have that click. So say I double that and I put it at 120 beats per minute. Then I might start realizing, oh. Might start realizing, wow, you can get your speed up without thinking too much about it. And you can do that with pentatonic as well. Yeah, so just try that chromatic model anywhere you want, on any string, up and down, but just think in terms of all 4 fingers as you're doing down, down, up, or up, down. Just wherever you start, just use that as your base, down, up, or up, down. And that alternate picking will start to really help you in terms of getting a grip, so to speak, on playing melodies smoothly from a right hand technique perspective. So if you don't have a pig, don't want to get a pig, don't lose hope. There's a guitarist from Madagascar island off the coast of Africa, and I listened to him when I was starting out. His name is Gary, D''Gary. And this guy borrowed guitars from people around the neighborhood. I think he was a policeman in his village, and he created this really interesting technique with his thumb and index finger. And you don't have to do it that way, but I find it works well if you don't have a pick, or with your thumb and your middle finger. And what it would be is you'd be using your thumb to do the downstrokes and the index finger or the middle finger for the upstrokes. So it might look something like this. Doing that chromatic thing, right? Your thumb would be doing the down, up, 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 or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Depends on what's more comfortable for you, but the thumb would always be going down strokes. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that's something you can do if you don't have a pick. And yeah, just work on that a little bit. I hate to reference an old 80s movie because a lot of people don't like 80s movies. I'm dating myself here. But in The Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi is showing Daniel-san how to wax a car or paint a fence, but really he's teaching him the basics of karate moves. And weird analogy, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm not just giving you exercises just to kill time. I'm actually trying to give you things that will allow you to become creative and create your own style. If I just gave you a melody, you'd be stuck with that melody and you couldn't create anything on your own, really. You would just say, well, I can play Happy Birthday and that's it. And that's cool too. But yeah, I want to give you some tools to unlock your hands, your mind, get everything kind of synced up. And we can talk more about melody as we go on. But yeah, give this alternate picking, this up, down picking a try and see if it helps you out. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.